Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? I hope you're doing well. It's the last day of the year, last trading day. Hopefully I remember to say this a couple times, but today is not the day to try to make up your year. If you're trying to get to a certain dollar amount or you're trying to go green, trying to do it today is not the day. Today is a great day to practice habits and discipline that you want to bring into 2026. Don't gamble. Don't go wildcatting. Stick with your habits, discipline, and process, and make today the day that you build muscle, getting ready to capitalize on 2026 opportunities. Good morning, Dylan. I guess I need to do an audio visual check before I dive in so fast. Hey, Shake and Bake. Good morning. Happy New Year to you. Hey, Green Lady. Another baby on the way. Hunter, congratulations. I'll talk about silver, sure. AV good. Thank you, Shake and Bake. Miska Bacha. Good morning. Hey, Jared. Okay, let's go to silver. All right, let's look at silver futures. I saw that, I think I read it correctly, that there was another increase in margin requirements for metals. I'm sure people are getting overly extended, making the banks nervous with margin. So they've increased the requirements, which likely forced out some positions overnight again. We have a double bottom on silver. So we have a 4-hour equilibrium on silver. Let's just call it 70-20, and we have the 70-16 over here. 70-20 is key support on silver. On the daily, we're holding that 70-21. We're holding the daily 12 EMA. We've got an uptick in volume. This is likely a temporary top. If you're looking to short it, I would want to bounce to short. So on the 2-hour, this could be a bear flag here. This was the bounce to short, in my opinion. If we look at it, I believe we went right at 62% retracement. If we look at the climax top to that low, we almost made it to the golden pocket, and then that's where we retraced. And now we have a potential 2-hour bear flag. So I like silver short on a bounce if we can get another bounce, because we could tighten up into next week. So we'll see. Gold did not make, gold made a lower low. Silver did not. Where did my gold go? There it is. So gold made a 4-hour lower low. We're in a 4-hour downtrend on gold. Silver held its low. Platinum made a 4-hour lower low. Palladium made a 4-hour lower low. So we have 4-hour downtrends in 3 of our top 4 metals. Silver's the only one holding that low that we first experienced after that blow off top. Looking at the dollar, it's getting a bounce going, but we are rejecting at the daily 12 EMA. If metals are going to bounce, this is a great area at least to have a bearish tailwind of potential dollar pullback at your back. All right, that was a long-winded silver answer. Awesome, Shake and Bake. I'm glad that you had income from trading. Hey, Paula. On, okay. I've been watching On Semiconductor. We have a daily equilibrium on. A weekly equilibrium with a weekly squeeze. Monthly, we're struggling at the 12 EMA. So we have a daily inside bar. A 4-hour lower high is more likely on a bounce. I like on for a potential long against 53.50. It's a good looking chart. 4-hour leaves a lot to be desired, but the weekly looks good. Good morning, Charting Charlie. You grabbed your puts on the bounce? Well, there you go. That'll help you pay for a bigger apartment with the third baby. Or not, I don't know if it's third, but with another baby on the way. ES and NASDAQ are having a really good bounce right now. VIX is pulling back. Gold is having a great bounce right now. I'm just adjusting some of my positions right now. This metal's volatility has been absolutely amazing. Didn't expect this week to be one of my better weeks for the year, but I'll take it. Yep, Warren Buffett retires today. End of an era. I agree. I did catch the gold trade on Monday. I've been going back and forth on gold and silver. It's been amazing. I have a love-hate relationship with platinum. Last week I was a little early on trying to short it and it ate my lunch. Then I did catch a top and wrote it down and kind of netted out my gains losses for a zero move, but it was just me starting a little too early. All right, y'all ready to get started? Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. If you want to give me a follow on X at Chart Gal Lori, I would appreciate it. Check us out at chartguys.com. Lots of free resources for traders that are starting out. Don't pay for community or education, in my opinion. If you're just starting out, use the free resources that are out there, and you can check ours out at chartguys.com. Get a handle on technical basics before you enter a community, and make sure it's not a to the moon Lamborghini type community. You want a community that's grounded in reality. This is a very tough gig trading. You don't want someone oversimplifying something that has high risk. You want to be aware of that and learn risk management principles first. All right, so looking at the market environment dossier table, this is just a table I came up with to communicate to you what I'm seeing out there. Things are looking a little more bullish than bearish on this table. This is where I evaluate the variables that are important to me to see how the market's overall leaning. If I'm gathering evidence against the market in a direction, so I'm gathering evidence, the evidence suggests it's more bullish than bearish. Looking at the economic calendar, we just had jobless claims come in a little bit lower than expected. We have oil inventory at 10:30. And then Friday, S&P Global data. And then I believe we have non-farm payrolls on the 9th. Yep, non-farm payrolls next week. So we are closed tomorrow. The market is closed tomorrow for US for New Year's Day. All right, let's take a look at the market. Hey, Shane Locke, Dr. Fell. All right, looking at ES. On ES, we're looking for a daily higher low. We're at the daily 12 EMA. We're getting a little bounce here. 1 second. We're getting a little bounce. The 4-hour is in a downtrend. We're testing the 4-hour 50 MA. We're getting a bounce. That 4-hour lower low is set. And on the hourly, we now have a higher high. So now it's time for bulls to put up or shut up. We got hourly oversold, and that did not mark the daily higher low. We got oversold again, which means less the second time around. So we need the hourly trend change on ES to know that the bulls are trying to put in that daily higher low. NQ is at the daily 50 EMA. Look at that lower wick of bulls buying the dip here. We have enough room for an hourly higher low now on NASDAQ. RTY is bouncing. RTY, I would call this a daily double bottom. Here we're at the daily 50 MA, 2506, 2503. I would call this a daily double bottom on futures. For now, we don't need to go any lower. And then looking at IWM, which is a Queen of the Mountain trade today, we're holding 24670 in this daily EQ. So I like IWM for a potential bottom fish looking for the daily higher low. When 4 hour is approaching oversold looking for a daily higher low, that can be a good area to scout it. That's why I like this one. But IWM is still a little bit lethargic for me this morning. It's not getting this nice bounce. It's getting a bounce, but not as nice as NASDAQ and ES. Looking at the Dow, it's also a little bit lethargic. We're looking for a daily higher low in this daily EQ. 4 hour, not quite oversold. If 4 hour gets oversold, I would be interested in a Dow daily higher low. That would be extreme. Let's see if bulls can change that trend. SMH, nice bounce, not gapping down, getting over the hourly 12 EMA. And we have a 4 hour EQ. Higher high, lower low, lower high, and now higher low. So SMH for me is the key for the market today. Do we still continue to hang around 6,900 on SPX, or do we make a move to 6,950 or even 7,000? I'm not looking for 7,000 on SPX today. We have some zero DTE stuff that's happening behind the scenes that I follow. We have that big JPM collar roll that will happen this afternoon. They were looking for 7,000 for the end of the year. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Right now on SPX, let me look at SPX. We're at 69.03. That would be a tremendous move if we were to get up to 7,000. So SPX will be important today. I'll be watching that to see. We may close at 6,900 for the year, the month, the quarter. All right, so SMH is looking good, 4 hour EQ. VIX, we have a gap up, daily inside bar, broke bull, but we ran into that daily 12 EMA again. So we have a 4 hour EQ, broke bull. Can we hold 1404? VIX gives us great clues for the market, and it's telling us that that fear we were feeling middle of the night is not lasting. Hang Seng was red overnight. DAX is nice and green. Bitcoin holds a key, Bitcoin and SMH in my opinion. We had a daily inside bar yesterday. We're inside that range. Look at the squeeze on Bitcoin. It's been squeezing the entire month of December. If you look at it on the 12 hour, we have a high compression squeeze. And that just means the Keltner channels and Bollinger Bands are super tight. That orange, those orange dots on the TTM squeeze. So we have a 4 hour equilibrium. Where's that path button? 4 hour equilibrium on Bitcoin that is forming. We need to break 89343. I'm anticipating Bitcoin volatility going into this weekend. I am looking for crypto volatility overall. If you look at Ethereum, we have a tight 12 hour compression there. Daily squeeze, 4 hour squeeze, 4 hour equilibrium. This thing is getting tight. Crypto volatility, in my opinion, will be the headline for in the next 7 days. I'm expecting it in the next 4 days, actually. Dollar. Yes, you have to pay to join our community. Yes. We weren't open in 2012, so that's funny. Maybe it was a different community, but yes. We have a monthly program and a 6-month subscription if you want to check it out at chartguys.com. So the dollar has a 4-hour uptrend, but we're at the daily 12 EMA, which has been strong resistance for 6 weeks. So we just pulled back pretty big, and we are getting a metals bounce thanks to that. Oil, the daily, I can't say that. 58.88 is daily resistance in that daily 50 MA. Oil is set up for a big move next year, and that move could be to the downside. But that is a huge monthly squeeze tightening range happening on oil. And we have inventory today. So we have a 4-hour higher high on oil. Nat gas looked like a bear flag earlier on the hourly. That just broke bear. Next support 3707. Looking weak. Rejection at the daily 200 MA. Gold. Gold got a 4-hour lower low. So gold broke down to a 4-hour lower low. And from my understanding, there was another increase in margin requirements for metals overnight, and that could have precipitated some closing out of positions. So we have 4-hour lower low on gold. We are looking for a daily higher low. Hourly oversold, did not mark that daily higher low. Back here. So now we roll up to 4-hour. Didn't mark it back here. So we'll see if bulls can get a bounce going. Bears will be looking for a daily lower high. Bears will be looking for a 4-hour lower high compared to 44.20. So gold, platinum, and palladium, all three got lower lows on the 4-hour. Silver was the only one that held 4-hour support. And silver's been leading this move, so it makes sense that it's a holdout here, and bulls defended 70.20. 70.20, I'm going to set an alert for that. 70.20 is key support for silver now. On a bounce, bears will be looking for a 4-hour lower high, and this could be a 4-hour bear flag. All right, looking at high beta, Apple has a nice 4-hour squeeze. Daily is tight, pinch between the daily 12 EMA and daily 50 MA. 4-hour squeeze, hourly squeeze. Apple is primed for a move. And we're just below 50 RSI on the 4-hour. It's primed for a move. We'll see if it happens today or next week. Amazon, we have this daily bull flag. It broke bull, but without follow through. We're bouncing from the daily 12 EMA. I have Invisalign. I had to take it off for my last 9 minutes. That means I'm going to try to talk faster. You're welcome, win for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. So Amazon has a weekly EQ and squeeze, daily holding that 50 MA and 12 EMA, 4-hour squeeze, hourly squeeze. Amazon is positioned to break some bear hearts today and next week if it so chooses. So Apple set up well on the daily, Amazon set up well on the daily, Google set up well on the daily. Google, unfortunately, got that daily bull flag confirmation and then promptly gave it all back. That's not what you want to see, but bulls are still A-okay on this beautiful daily 12 EMA hold. NVDA holding the daily 50 EMA. 4 hour getting over the 12 EMA. Oh my, we have an NVIDIA gap up attempt. Let's see. 188.99 was yesterday's high. This could change the tone and tenor for the market today if NVDA were to become the star. We do have a small 4 hour squeeze, and NVDA has a weekly squeeze. 4 hour EQ breaking bull right now. Bulls need to stay over 189 at market open. Then you have a gap up and gap rules apply. Tesla's not set up well. Of the 5 names we've discussed, Tesla set up poorly. We are looking for a daily higher low. It is above the daily 50 EMA. 4 hour grazing oversold, not quite yet. I was hoping for a gap down for buying, but not getting it. I will show you this. If you have watched this show this year, the 50 shows I've done, you will know that I don't mention RSI divergence a lot. Where's my line? Look at this bullish divergence on Tesla 4 hour. This is the 4 hour chart. RSI made a higher low while price made a lower low. So just something to consider for Tesla. Tesla is set up well for a bounce if bulls want to take it. We will see, looking for a daily higher low. All right, Affirm. This was my Queen of the Mountain trade yesterday and again today. This daily looks good, holding the daily 12 EMA, and we have this tight hourly squeeze. 4 hour tightening range. It looks good for a potential long swing. CELH, potential top fish. Weekly lower high more likely. Daily 200 MA overhead. 4 hour overbought. And you could also put a trend line on here if you so desire. I'm going to do it rough because my magnet is on, but something like that. So CELH could be a short. DKNG is primed for a move. Daily high compression squeeze, potential weekly bull flag. Holding 50 RSI. DKNG looks great. I'm going to move that over to my focus list for the morning. I really like DKNG. IWM, I think, is primed for a potential bottom fish. And Microsoft, I still have a position on from yesterday. Looks beautiful like the other high-tech names, high beta names I mentioned, holding the daily 12 EMA, daily squeeze, weekly squeeze, 4 hour squeeze, hourly squeeze. Now, the hourly chart is where things kind of fall off. This is sloppy. This spike up and then give it back. So we could have an inside day on Microsoft today. I would look for a breakout or breakdown next week. Friday, I'm anticipating low volume. Good morning. MSTR. That Bitcoin tight pattern would have me pumping the brakes on any type of crypto related short. MSTR held 154.12. So let's see if you can see it here. 154.12, Friday's low, and then yesterday's low, 154.13. We have a double bottom here. So MSTR has been way weaker than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is poised for volatility, and we have tax loss harvesting selling that is to end today. I would be looking for a bounce on MSTR going into 2026, looking for those folks that sold it to possibly want to buy it back. I like MSTR long. I would not be shorting it. This is my prime tax loss harvesting candidate for a potential bounce. Good morning. So I like DKNG today. And then what was I looking at on APLD last night? I forgot to look at it this morning. Yeah, APLD has a nice weekly EQ. Nice looking chart. I wouldn't put it on the concentration list. Don't want to make y'all dizzy. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Y'all have a wonderful last day of the year trading. Don't try to make up your year today. If you're trying to get to a certain dollar amount of gains, don't force it today. If you're trying to go red to green, today is not the day to do that. You will likely push your luck. What you want to do today, in my opinion, is to focus on process, discipline, and patience, working on your discipline muscles, prepping for 2026 to be different and better. All right, have a great day. And TCG members, I'll see you in 11 minutes. Use stop losses.